All right. Well, that's all I have for both the Monday night games. I think we turn it over to the debauchery that is the league of record, the 14-team league. I commissioned this league. Lionel is the co-commissioner of this league. So, and Grant is now one of our emeritus. But
Grant's a yearly contributor to the charity, apparently.
but this league is it's been long going. Started at Centennial and it's been going on ever since. And
Forgot that.
yeah, it's the seventh year of the league, and so this year we are at 14 teams. We got a strong league this year. And Grant, I don't know, what do you want to start with?
Shit. I mean, I feel like I know this is probably going out to the league mates that are gonna be looking at it, right? So I want to, like, as a person in the media situation, right, as a media mogul such as myself, like I want to set the table to be like, yo, like you said, it's 14 teams, auction draft,
Yeah.
2 keepers per season with a progressive keeper value, half point PPR.
Yep.
We have 6 point. Do we have 6 point passing touchdowns?
Yep. 6 points.
6 point passing touchdowns, which I feel like I flip flop on how much I like that or not. So I have a little bit of both. I guess it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Regular setup otherwise.
I add a little bit of there's a
return yards.
Yeah, and interceptions are penalized by -3 instead of -2, so it kind of offsets the extra 2-point boost I think that you get from quarterbacks. Because if you have a quarterback that throws a bunch of picks, you shouldn't really be rewarded because that's effectively turning over the game,
Right.
Possession. So
right. So I mean, I feel like it's only right if we're going to talk about the league a little bit. We have to start with the you versus me matchup, the fucking, I guess, inaugural fantasy GM podcast bowl.
Yeah.
Featured me getting washed.
Well, the fantasy schedule makers have not been kind to anyone right now on this show, as we all will face, at least I'll be facing Lionel this week as well. So this is in 2 weeks we will know what these outcomes will be. But yeah, the first week, I mean, let's just talk about our teams. Let's go over our teams. You know, we can talk about, like, I have, quarterback. I had Lamar Jackson. Well, my keepers from last year were Lamar Jackson at $4. I got him at 3, 10% progressive tax on him, so I got him at 4. That was a steal of the draft, I think. And then Derrick Henry, I kept him at 30 or 34. I think I kept him at 34, 30 or 34. So those are my 2 keepers, and then filled out the team with Chris Carson, Juju Smith-Schuster, who I said I was already high on, Tyler Lockett, Jonnu Smith, DJ Chark, the Titans D, which, yeah, okay. And then Joey Sly, got to throw a Carolina player on there somewhere. Decided to go with the kicker. Guy has a strong leg. That was my team.
Yep. So I'll say I kept 2 running backs. Kept Nick Chubb on the low. I forget, maybe for $4 as well.
It was super cheap. It was a great price. I'm still mad.
Yeah.
Still mad.
Right. Had him for a couple now. I picked him up. This is his 3rd season?
Yeah. Lionel, this is 3rd season?
I think so. Out of Georgia.
Right. So I think I drafted him for $2 as a rookie. It sounds like you're rounding up to the highest dollar if there's any change.
Yes.
So he's been $1 additional for me each of these 2 years. It's been great.
Yeah.
Had an average day for us. And I also kept Eagles running back Miles Sanders.
Great value.
Right. Didn't play. I think he was a less than 20. I think I kept him for like $17 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was happy about that going into the auction draft. Specifically around drafting, I know we're past drafts for everybody here, most likely, unless you guys are just fucking lazy. But I feel like my personal, and I think we've already had some self-analysis on how we approach the auction draft, so I don't think I'm giving anything away because I know I need to change it. I've been hesitant to go hard out the gate for those dudes that everybody wants, but when everybody's got his money, you're sitting there playing whatever, 80, 90, $60 for these dudes out the gate. And I always feel like, yo, there's going to be so much value around that 20-ish dollar range. But by the time you get there, you're competing with like some of those dudes who already got their big dudes and they just want to get like some other dude.
Yep.
And they don't care. They'll fill the rest of their squad up with the single dollar guys.
We have a fraternity brother, Tori, who will look at his team and who did it probably quite well. But
right. I think, I'll definitely be adjusting my strategy in auctions moving forward. And I did poorly in both the auctions I think I was in this year, just because I was not willing to go grab that definite first rounder that I know I wanted. With us having this short keeper situation too, it kind of also influences me in the wrong way, because I'm like, hey, I already got 2 potential first round picks.
Yeah.
I don't need to go crazy, but I should be, I think, looking forward to it, thinking as, I have 2 first round picks on the low, so I can pay up for someone and still be even if we was coming with a virgin team. So
that's right.
Right. So round it out for me, I went with Aaron Rodgers. I think I got like $10. I think that was poo-pooed on. He fucking my high scorer this week.
Yeah, he was great.
I got Devin Singletary. I got a lot of Singletary this year. Felt like he's a good, quiet, mid-range dude. I don't remember what I paid for him. I got Amari Cooper.
You're not worried about Zach Moss at all?
That's someone I don't know anyone about. So, I mean, Lionel can tell us about him later then, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's always worrying when they go out and get another, was he a 4th-round pick or something like that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got Amari Cooper. I got Keenan Allen. I got Jack Doyle, who is just like, was a guy, whatever, at tight end.
Yeah.
This is my one place I do have Lev Bell. Unfortunately. And I did that because I got boxed out of basically everyone I wanted.
Yeah, running backs went crazy. They go crazy high in this league. Seems
right.
Like.
After we let fucking whomever get Mike Thomas for $53 on the auto draft, like.
Actually, it was 46. It was even worse.
Whatever it was made me tight with the coins after that.
It was really terrible.
And Lev Bell, whatever. Who knows what's going to happen with him there? I tried to make it up at the end when I still had some cash. So, I mean, Latavius Murray is also someone else who I targeted late in drafts a lot.
Yeah.
No, he's just he's going to get carries either way. He's probably flex worthy in the bye weeks. Anything happens to Kamara, which seems to happen, unfortunately, for 2 to 3 games a year at least, right?
Yeah.
He's a lock and load at that point.
Yeah, he's an automatic RB1.
Right. I've always also kind of, since Duke Johnson helped me get to 1 title in a PPR, like, I feel like he's a sneaky PPR type of guy. Mm-hmm. Who knew what was going to happen with David Johnson, but I think he's already got hurt, so probably not going to be on my roster after this week, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I got Robbie Anderson, who went off, former Jet great.
Robbie's going to be good in that Carolina offense. He is he's the number 2 easily. Like, he's past Curtis Samuel on the depth chart.
And I got John Brown on there.
Yeah.
Smokey. And who also, like, Allen can sling it, right?
Yeah.
Very accurate. I saw him, like, it was the equivalent of a soccer player missing a penalty kick, like where it goes over the crossbar.
Yeah.
Like a Beckham penalty kick.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, homeboy tight end, was just like standing in the end zone. It was like, but he had a decent game, and I did pick up when Miles Sanders. We got 2 IR slots because of COVID this year. So when Miles Sanders got deemed out for the game, I dropped into the IR and grabbed Kirk Cousins as just a little backup, just
that was smart.
In case. Who knows how long that's going to sit out there. I also got Josh Gordon on the IR as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why he's IR eligible right now, but he's there. So
he's out. Yeah, he's out right now.
Like usually if you're not hurt out, you're like NA, and then you're not eligible for the IR, but
I think that they're playing fast and loose with the rules right now in the NFL. So, like, when it comes to IR designations at this point.
At least on ESPN. So, I mean,
it
felt like it was a no-risk hold for me there. So, I think I sacrificed the Eagles' defense or some bullshit like that to pick him up and just stash him before week 1 after Benny spent real money on him. So, I mean, it made no sense to me. He, like, bragged about, it's my $2, I'm going to stash him. And then he dropped him. Like, did you not try to put him in your IR, Benny?
Yeah, I actually dropped. I feel that I dropped Damian Harris a little early but it was before they announced that he was going to IR. If they announced he was going to go IR, I would have kept him and put him in my IR. But it's fine. I will. If I want Damian Harris, he'll at some point be out there again. Like, the people can't hold these IR spots forever, and you can't make changes to your lineup if you have an ineligible person in your IR anyway. So,
right.
But yeah, our matchup ultimately just came down to the fact, like, our quarterbacks were pretty much evenly matched. My running backs had a pretty good
game. A-Rod outscored Lamar. Son.
He did. Yeah, A-Rod's outscored Lamar Jackson. But Derrick
I'm
Henry,
not expecting that, but it feels like a wasted week for me with it's probably his highest scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if this is his highest scoring week of the year.
For me?
No, for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, for Aaron Rodgers, yeah, maybe, probably.
He went for 38.7 in our league.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. I think that, I think Keenan Allen's going to bounce back because he will. I think that, I think your team is going to be fine once you get Miles Sanders back. Once you get Miles Sanders back, it's definitely a playoff team. I think we all have playoff teams. I don't know where Lionel went, but
saw a switching laptop message come through, something like that.
But yeah, so far, I got a victory over you in this league, and we don't get to play each other again because.
No, I'm saying, wait, we got to break down this bullshit, dog. Chris Carson, 2 receiving touchdowns. Fucking kidding me, son.
I mean, look.
Juju scored more points than he scored all last season. Bullshit.
Well, Juju Smith.
Fucking DJ Chark caught like 2 passes and a touchdown. Bullshit, son.
I mean.
Everyone you put out there hit, really, except Derrick Henry. For what you'd expect from Jonnu Smith. How many catches did he have?
he had 4 catches for.
I wasn't even watching because I knew it was going to get rocked.
Jonnu Smith has been good. He just needed Delaney Walker to not be the starter anymore. He's always been a pretty decent.
I'm not talking about his talent. I'm saying his contributions to the game was like 2 catches and a touchdown.
His contributions was 4 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown this game. Did
anybody in your starting lineup not score a touchdown other than your kicker?
Derrick Henry didn't score a touchdown.
He went over 100 yards, right? Tyler Lockett didn't have a touchdown?
Tyler Lockett did not have a touchdown.
He went for 92 yards. On
and 8 receptions. I mean.
Nothing I can do about that.
But this is what we do. I targeted these players. Chris Carson, didn't predict that he would have 2 receiving touchdowns. I did expect that he would have at least a rushing touchdown against Atlanta, and he didn't. But that's because I think they are kind of easing him back. The man just had hip surgery, so I think they're just kind of easing him back into the starting lineups. That's why you're seeing a lot more Carlos Hyde. You're seeing a lot of this. He's going to pick up his reps. And if he's involved in the passing game, he's still going to produce. Like he was 3rd highest on the target list. So I like Chris Carson, but I thought Juju Smith-Schuster was a number 1 receiver. I do still believe he's a legit number 1. And I think the demise of Tyler Lockett has been a bit overestimated. A lot of people have been drafting DK Metcalf over Tyler Lockett.
When was he ever? Tyler Lockett was also like I'd never feel good about drafting him where he's going situation. Like,
yeah.
Has he ever been good as the one?
Well, here's the thing.
He feels more injury prone than he is to me.
But he's not injury prone. That last year was the first time he really got injured.
It just feels that way. I don't know why.
Because he's like a thin guy, small guy. He doesn't feel like a legit. Doesn't look like physically doesn't look like a number 1 receiver. But when I watch him play, his route running is immaculate. His connection with Russell Wilson is they just know what each other's thinking, and you can't really. I don't think you can really replace that. How I feel about Juju Smith-Schuster, it's like there's a certain quarterback wide receiver connection that sometimes transcends talent. And is he going to have some stinkers? Yeah, Tyler Lockett's going to have some bust games because he is. Oh, I like that. Tyler Lockett's going to have some bust games because I do think he's one of those guys that's like he's big. He's a big play guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
it also scares me, the guys when they come onto the league as that dude, right?
Yeah, facts. But I think
I always kind of trusted Doug Baldwin, even though he was not a physical specimen either.
I trusted Doug Baldwin. And Doug Baldwin was a legit number one wide receiver for years and just was slept on. Just like Jordy Nelson was slept on. But I think that also had to do because he was white. So, yeah, it was true. But Jordy Nelson was a consistent number one fantasy wide receiver. And you would be able to get – I was able to get him in drafts in like third round. I'm like, yo, I've filled up my running back, and I can now get Jordy Nelson as my number one. Oh, I'm good. I'm gonna win.
I was actively trying to not draft white players this year, just for the record. So.
Well, after I gave up Christian McCaffrey, I was trying to avoid white players too, but I had to go with my boy Joey Sly because the boy got a big leg.
I'm really trying to think. Like, I don't know that there's a lot of examples out there, but I don't think on any of my teams do I have a non-QB tight end kicker white person.
Non-QB kicker tight end. Yeah. I can see that. Well, those are the so-called skill positions. So those are the blacks. So yeah, I think that personally.
You have Cooper Kupp in one league, damn it.
Yeah, got him. He snuck in. All right, but personally, just on the basis of just looking at the teams, I feel really good about my draft. Like again, this was an auction league, so. As well. So we bid money on these players and you had to it was a little bit more strategy. I ended the draft with $13. So I was very disappointed in my draft. I'll give myself a C in my drafting because that means that maybe I could have got a Devontae Adams or I could have gotten somebody else with that extra $13. So I don't like the fact that I had so much money left, but at the same time, I do really like how this team is shaped out, and I don't know. I feel very good about repeating as champ.
I like the confidence. I already told you I felt shitty about my draft. I feel like I give myself this is my worst draft. I felt like more like double for the stakes and the shit talking.
Yeah.
How I need to get my name on the trophy, but also because like I did a terrible job. I thought about it this time. I had target guys, and every time I got to them, I was just like, nah, I can't do it. And then ended up with none of my guys, basically, and it was the worst. So.
It's hard in an auction draft, and people who don't do auction drafts don't understand this.
I feel like I've gotten worse at them.
Yeah, it's so hard in an auction draft because you have in your mind your where you don't like. I'm not going above this, and then you always get in the draft, and there's always somebody that's willing to push you above that limit. Especially in our draft, we got people in here who are just dicks. In a good, I love them, but it's like. You don't even want this dude. Why are you even bidding on this person?
You can't leave him with that person though. Like who Chris Evans end up with that he didn't want? Let me see. Let's flesh it up, son.
Yeah.
I know the Climax got some of them shits on.
It's like 4 to 5 players every year. This happens every single year.
Yeah, I feel bad for our frat brother Jared because every year he gets stuck with some injury to his team or something that keeps him in the bottom of the league. And I always trade with him because I really want to help the team. So
I always trade with him because he's a charity case to me. It's like I also feel like an affinity for him. Like is also light skinned like me.
He is light skinned.
You both have the COVID froze going, son. Like before that, we wore fitteds. Like yo.
I don't want to just hop in the analysis on my team.
No, we're gonna talk. Yeah, we're about to talk about your team too, like because we play next week. So we're gonna dissect our matchup next week.
Yeah, but I just want to give a foreshadow. I'm just gonna say when you guys said that, I'll say that we all like right after our draft talked about like who do you guys think has the best team? And guess who said that they thought that I had the best team? Jared. So I think that's an insight into how I feel.
Now I want like the African like coffin dudes meme. Then. Perfect.
Oh no, there are some teams in our league that do. I'm like, I look at them like I don't know how you're gonna like.
I found it.
Yeah, Chris's team is starting.
Not as terrible as I thought it was. Chris's team is the worst team by far. Dog, what was he doing?
But he
won.
Yeah.
I remember it's this Alexander Madison he paid $11 for.
Oh no!
By accident.
But my
And you have no running backs.
That's what I'm about to say. The running backs
are
are really suspect. Jordan Howard and Boston Scott is not how you.
Jordan Howard even get 5 carries?
This is not. Look, there's a lot. This team has a lot on Patrick Mahomes and Julio Jones, and honestly, that might be all you need to get some wins. But I'm not very comfortable with that running back core. That's going to be very, very, very. I would try to make a trade, but I would try to make.
He already told me. Actually, I'm not telling what he told me.
Yeah, that's fine. Keep that to yourself. Keep that inside. Well,
I mean, actually, talking about shit, he did win the fucking game. He did score more points than me. I don't know how that's possible.
That's what I said. He won his matchup. So I mean, we say you can win. It's all about matchup based in fantasy.
Makes no sense.
It's matchup based. I mean, to be fair, Team Ross went very strong with Cam Akers, and we saw Malcolm Brown pretty much take all the carries in that game. So it was and Mike Evans went down with his hamstring injury, and Allen Robinson's asking for a trade. So we talked about a lot of these players early on. So it's
unhappy with contract. Unhappy with contract.
Unhappy with contract. Sorry, he was unhappy with his contract. And I'm sure they're looking at him like, well, you produced 9.8 fantasy points, so you can't be that unhappy. But his team needs a little work when it comes to running backs. But
it is weird though. It's like no one's production that he played makes me angry.
No. You expect Patrick Mahomes to score what he did. You expect Julio. You expect all of that. It all made sense. His score is legit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want that to be my team, but
no.
I guess you're right. It has paths to victory.
Yes. Lionel, do you wanna
Still willing to trade with you, Chris. Talk to me.
I'm willing to trade with anyone in the league right now. I am personally looking for well, I don't know what I'm looking for right now, but I'm always looking to upgrade. So talk to me. Lionel, you and I face each other in week 2. I didn't do it this way. The odds makers, this is how Vegas wanted it.
Did you switch the schedule this year?
I did. I shuffled the schedule.
I feel like I played you maybe odds.
No, you played me later in the season last year. And it shuffled automatically because we added a 14th team. So it had to readjust the schedule.
Word. Facts.
Let's see. Lionel, right now I am projected to win, but we know the ESPN projections don't mean shit. You are, I think you're down a player.
You're looking at my team. Yeah. So when I describe my team, I'm just going to talk about my last week's team because it has changed since then. Even though last week was yesterday.
What have I missed?
So
I haven't been in the group me, yo. Group me is the only reason I use it is to talk to you motherfuckers. Like, can we all like WhatsApp or anything else that the rest of the world uses now? Like, why is all of the chapter group chat still on group me, dog?
I only use GroupMe for Infamous and to somewhat look at everything else that comes through.
Nah. But I'm ready to start the movement to move it off GroupMe. I need
to what? To WhatsApp?
WhatsApp would be fine with me. Telegram would also be acceptable.
I mean, we can.
I feel like WhatsApp is universal, though.
It is. WhatsApp is definitely far more widespread.
By far a better chat app.
Okay.
It is a great chat app.
We can certainly bring it up to the league. It'll just all it would require is creating the account.
I mean, I'm talking like the entire chapter, like all of them chats.
Oh.
I want to never get on GroupMe again, if possible. That's right, GroupMe. Group.me, come see me.
GroupMe, if you would like to sponsor the podcast, however, we would definitely welcome you on board.
Better said, we will take your money.
Like a partnership where you pay us to like make people believe the GroupMe is a better app, and on the side, I give you like 2, 3, 4 hours a week of IT consulting experience. Like,
Oh, that's dope.
telling you how to make your app not be terrible. And
I'll throw in some legal advice, legal experience, about 4 hours of that as well. And Lionel throwing in some of his tech savvy science.
I can do the data like analysis. That's where I'm at now.
seeing like
Right.
That's going to be me.
Sprinkle sprinkle emoji. All right, so Lionel, we're talking about, so we're facing each other next week. You have an empty RB slot that'll probably be filled.
It'll be filled with somebody.
Wait, what happened? Can you catch me up?
Oh yeah. So I've dropped a running back from my team who, based on happenings within the league, that was the right decision to make.
Oh yeah, we talked about this person, as you said.
Oh yeah, you weren't here. Yeah, you weren't here. I said this at the very beginning. Yeah, so I dropped Kerryon Johnson already, like immediately. That's a wrap there.
The Wizinator.
Exactly.
Well, you only spent like $5 on him as a keeper. So
yeah, it was like 8. I mean, it was something where like he was a running back that at the time. So like the Adrian Peterson signing hadn't happened yet, right? Which changed everything. So the amount that he was like kept for was fine. I'm not upset about that. It was just, hey, you got to get somebody else in there. Keep it. Ain't no hard feelings out here. This is business.
This is business.
Speaking of Henry Ruggs, so with my team, he is the one player on my team. He did. That is what happened. So I haven't followed up to see like what the injury was, but I know that he was only questionable to return to the game. So it was a lot more like preventative measures to keep him out. But the important thing to take away from the fact is that he was probably, I would say, the third most valuable player on my team at this point. Sorry, fourth most valuable player on my team at this point after Ertz. And just because, like, literally he was a focal point of their offense. Not only was he in the passing game, they were running, as Manny like pointed out to me in the text message, jet sweeps.
Yeah. He was. I watched that game as well, and they were taking deep shots with him. Carr was not afraid to throw that ball up and to him.
It was always the knock against him, and the fact, and I know he completed a 45-yarder, and like if that's something that he can do consistently, which it seems that like Rez is going to get separation just from the fact that he's fast, but is also he has ball skills, right?
Right.
Another Alabama guy I saw play probably every game of his college career.
And he is much better than Hunter Renfrow. So I'm pretty that's going like, come on, like he's definitely going to be number one.
Yeah, they're like the same size, and like Renfrow was not bad, and he showed that he wasn't bad. He's one of those scrappy, undrafted, blah 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 guys.
Classic white PPR special.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like a tag phrase for that, like.
Scrappy. What's the word? Deceptive speed.
Sneaky
athletic.
Student of the game.
Yeah, but he
award. Greg Paulus, white PPR receiver of the year trophy goes to Hunter Renfrow's in the conversation this year. Sorry, continue.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think they're around the similar sizes. Renfrow maybe like slightly bigger, maybe, but like Ruggs is obviously faster, obviously more athletic, obviously more dynamic, obviously more productive in college, obviously more faster. That's the main thing.
More faster.
Exactly. And he can do, I think, everything that he could do. When Renfrow was productive, I would say, as a rookie, decently in that offense with Carr as a quarterback. So I think it just depends on like Carr being it. If Carr can elevate his game to hit that deep ball, Ruggs is going to like pay off for a lot of people who took a chance on him. Such as myself, hopefully.
Yeah, same. I feel you.
I'll correct the record. I was wrong. He came back in the second half. He just never got targeted after that. So maybe not as bad as we thought. Hopefully not as bad.
He didn't look.
It's also his knee. Sorry about that.
Yeah, he got dinged. He just got dinged up. He did come back, but that game was a shootout, but it was more of a Josh Jacobs running for 3 touchdowns game versus throw it in the air.
Someone I'm mad I didn't trust myself more on. I felt like he looked like a good ball player to me last year, and I didn't understand why.
Oh, Archie went in on him in the draft last year.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Archie kept them for $46 this year, and it seems like
Yeah.
it was a good keep, a very strong keep. We'll look. Yeah, waiver wire heroes decided that had two good keeps with him and George Kittle. Now Kittle got a little banged up, but Kittle for $4, I keep Kittle too. So, but Lionel, who are your keepers from last year?
Okay, here we go. The narrative continues. So one of those keepers is Kerryon Johnson, who is no longer on the team. And one of those keepers is Cooper Kupp, who did not do anything alongside of the Los Angeles offense and did not really do anything.
Okay. So,
yes.
Would you say you are not happy with your keepers this year?
I'm not upset because of the amount that was spent on them. Like, right, like I don't think anybody. Like, I feel like Cooper Kupp would have gone for more than what $11 or whatever it was that I paid for him in the draft. Kerryon Johnson probably would have gone for like 10, 12 in the draft, right? Like, or. Yeah, right. So that's just draft picks I made before the draft started, and that's what I look at. It just didn't pan out, right?
True. But did you go get someone for some big money with your savings?
Oh yes, absolutely. So Dalvin Cook, I literally went. So I think that was probably not a steal because we all know in our draft for all of those listeners out there. Fun fact: Michael Thomas went for. Does anyone know the exact number? Is it 46?
I think it's 46.
Right.
Yeah.
I will double check it.
Yes, on an auto bid.
Right. The only reason it happens auto pick. I went to click it too. I was like, no. I was like cooking. I was literally like the 20 minutes of the draft where I wasn't sitting here at this desk right now where I'm recording from was when that bullshit happened.
Michael Thomas went for $46. Yes.
Yeah. So you know. Yeah, so I think I got Dalvin Cook for 63 is the number I believe I paid for him.
Dalvin Cook went for $63, yes.
Yeah, and so that was like the running back, the player that I knew that I wanted to get. And from like Sunday's like offensive output, yeah, like I think that was a solid decision. There were other running backs who I don't think are going to be as productive who went higher. So I think that was probably like my best win of the draft. Zach Ertz, I think, was also a big one of the draft. He went for about 24, I think I bought him for.
Okay.
Now, there's a dilemma with that because he was not the most productive tight end for the Eagles on Sunday.
I was about to say that. I was like, Dallas Goedert out here snatching souls.
Just like, okay, noted. I'll just leave that there.
Also noted.
Like, I waited a lot on tight end, and I like always looking at like Goddard. I'm just like being Philly adjacent. I've seen it happen so many times, but I also don't know why. It just seems like he scores touchdowns.
He does.
So insight that I had after this happened, and I was very upset, is the fact that apparently Ertz and the Eagles are in a contract I don't want to say dispute, but they're in contract discussions. And one of Philly's like bargaining chips is the fact that it's like they have Goddard. Right?
That's how business works, son.
Yeah.
Welcome to the real world, white guy.
Yeah, we're not gonna pay you. We got someone who literally does what you do.
Yeah.
Also, Goddard's not black either, right? So I mean, not even like there's a black guy that's coming for your job. It's another white guy, dog.
Right. Exactly. So there's that. Now, the other person I went to get, which I think I didn't even have to go that hard, is Deshaun, a quarterback. I think you could argue that he was probably a little disappointing in his game on Sunday, but also, you know, he's adjusting to life without D-Hop.
Yeah.
He still has Bill O'Brien as his quarterback, you know, all these things. But he still put out 21 points in a bad game, right? Yeah. So, you know.
And you only spent $9 for him, so you didn't really like break the bank for Deshaun Watson. And some people had him as the number 3 quarterback coming into the season after the top.
Also one that made me angry. I think I might have bet a couple dollars on him and didn't just go for it and ended up with Rodgers for 10. So it's like, go get your guys early in the auction draft.
Get your guys.
No matter who puts them up, that's how I feel like moving forward. Now that I'm looking at my shit, it makes me more upset that I spent $37 on Le'Veon Bell. Like where I had to just go get like somebody to come after my keepers. I also feel like it's amazing and a true representation of my personality that I spent no more than what was spent on Michael Thomas for any of my picks.
Right, you just did. At the principle.
I did it on purpose. I really didn't do it on purpose. I'm looking at it like Amari Cooper for 43 is my most expensive player. That's not the team you want either. But
Yeah.
make happen.
Yeah. The league, like, if you don't, well, first of all, there were like, I think 23 or 24 players kept. Like, everybody kept it. Everyone kept at least a player, and most people kept 2.
I think the only person who didn't keep anybody was Broderick in our league. I think is the only one. And he also
Broderick kept people. Yeah, only person that didn't keep anyone was Sean because he didn't have any keepers. But Broderick kept Russell Wilson at $6. Great keep, seems like.
Yeah.
And he kept DJ Moore at 15, which I think is going to pay off for him because it's DJ Moore. Yeah, I like Teddy. I like Teddy Two Gloves, man. He threw for he. Hey, it ain't the offense's fault that we lost because we scored 30 points. If you throw 30 points in a game, you should win the football game. It ain't the offense's fault that we lost. That defense is beyond terrible. So, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater did everything he could. He only threw for 1 touchdown, though, I think. But, he didn't lose the football game. So, yeah, the post Cam Newton eras is not starting off bright on the win column, but it's starting off bright for Cam, and that's all I care about. I'm happy for Cam.
That's important. Yeah, so like who else?
I hate that he's on the Patriots.
Yeah.
I want to root for him, but like I hate the Patriots.
I look, the Patriots cheated us out of a Super Bowl, and so I don't really like the Patriots either, but I'm gonna root for Cam if that means that he gets a ring with the Patriots.
Please no.
Did y'all see his suit?
I did see his suit. He was ready. He was ready for the Patty LaBelle Gladys Knight versus boy.
The best shit is the Patriots logo with like his hair's out like this. What's going on, son? I kind of look like logo now that we're looking at it. Like
I don't like that.
The best shit, in my opinion, was the shoes that said "Bam" on them.
Bam. Yo, wild. That's wild. But I think so. Lionel, what do you think? How do you feel about our matchup? Do you feel like you feel like you'll win the matchup? How do you feel?
I do not feel like I'll win the matchup. I'll go ahead and say that because when I look at my bench, right, like I think I said all of my starters. Michael Gallup is the only other starter I have besides the defense and the kicker, which will, whatever happened with him. Michael Gallup will probably be okay. I think so I was probably like hardcore, the opposite of Grant, and like with like 3 or 4 players, and then after that I was probably like more Grant, where it's like, oh, I can't do that because like there were people like I wanted Hollywood Brown, and I was like,
I wanted Marquise Brown too, but the price got too high for me.
Yeah, like I wanted Jerry Jeudy, but not really. I just the price he went for, I would have paid. I think he went for like $5, right? I just was like, not paying attention honestly, but like I definitely got way more conservative in the end.
Yep, I would have bet $47 for Michael Thomas. Definitely would have bet 47 for him.
Yeah, I did pay. I did get Leonard Fournette. I think it's for like somewhere in the teens. I don't have like my draft in front of me, but I know he went for like somewhere less than like $20. And obviously, that who knows what that's going to be after our earlier discussion about the Tampa Bay offense, right? Like, stay away from now. But I think the price that I got him at, I have to hold on to. I can't like just let that go. But then Dobbins, we talked about him earlier. Who knows based on that offense? I drafted Tua. That was a biased pick. But I also think that he's going to be Miami's quarterback. Like, he's going to be Miami's quarterback at some point.
He is.
Like this season. It's just going to happen. Christian Kirk.
Okay.
Who knows?
If Tua becomes Miami's quarterback, though, now you have that dilemma of Deshaun Watson and Tua now.
I would always start Deshaun is a proven commodity. I would always start Deshaun Watson over Tua, unless Tua has like 30 or something. Which has happened before, right? That's happened in fantasy. But unless something crazy happens, he could be a bye week fill-in. But I think I drafted. I don't even know if I could keep him, but I just want to keep him as like a bargaining chip because somebody may want him. You know how the league works. Yeah, crazier things have happened in our league where somebody has needed something and they're like willing to give up something for it.
Hey, for my roster, I think I'm gonna mostly run back the same lineup that I ran that's last week. the only maybe Emmanuel Sanders might sneak in there because Michael Thomas injury and, Drew Brees is going to throw the football. But do I start him over DJ Chark? I don't know. DJ Chark is also one of those wide receivers who is an unquestioned one, but it is on with Jacksonville. So I'm not sure.
Very solid last year for most of the season. He was a top 8 receiver, I think, for at least 3/4 of the season last year, I think. Somewhere around there. He was really productive.
Yeah, until he got hurt.
Until he got hurt, exactly.
He got hurt, and then his production dropped off, and then Jacksonville was just not good pretty much after a while. But I think Chark is one of those guys that is probably going to sneak into over 1,000 yards production. So if you got him as your number 3 wide receiver, you're probably in a good shot. Grant?
I'm saying that sounds like another board bet right there. I'm willing to take the under on 1,000 yards for DJ Chark right now.
I'll take over on 1,000 yards for DJ Chark. Put it in the can. Trash.
Oh, I will take the under on that, actually, because I don't trust Gardner Minshew. I do not.
Okay, all right. This is gonna be a good one. I'm throwing my weight behind DJ Chark. All right, DJ. Look, you only got 25 yards last week. I'm gonna need you to pick up the pace. Yeah, I feel good, Lionel. I don't think I feel confident my team will prevail this week. They did a good job last week. I have to say, highest score of the week. Granted, Torrey's team probably on average will score more points because he has 3 top 12 running backs on his team. Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley, and Alvin Kamara. However, if we take a look at that wide receiving core, believe N'Keal Harry was on that at one point. Kenny Galladay and his bulky hamstring, Mike Williams, Alshon Jeffrey, Alan Lazard. It's gonna be a revolving door at wide receiver. So if you can survive the early onslaught of his running backs, if his running backs just don't bury you, you can win. You definitely beat that team.
I will say, for what it's worth, I just looked at y'all matchup real quick right now, and I do feel like I would also have to give the hand to Manny right now. But it looks close. I want to see what people are going to do after the drops here.
Yeah, we have a whole waiver period. How do you feel about your matchup with Archie?
I actually haven't. Let me click on that shit right now. I'll tell you. I will say, while I'm transitioning to that, like, the more I looked at the draft, the more I wanted to vomit at my draft. But nothing have I ever seen a worse draft than Chris's draft. I looked back at his team, like, did he drop people and pick people up? How did he score that many points? It makes no sense.
You know what the wildest part about that is? Chris has won the league twice.
Yes, Chris has won the league twice. It's kind of outlandish.
Did he win Gaddafi League last year too?
He won Gaddafi and then left that league.
Some algorithm or something?
I don't know what he does. He won them both. He's won them both. It's insane.
How does he not talk more shit about that? If he won Gaddafi and he won the infamous league in the same year?
He didn't win in the same. He didn't win in the same year, but he's won them both.
All right, you won last year.
Yeah, he won them both. He won in the same year, but the fact that he's like, so there's some method to his madness. I just don't necessarily see the method sometimes.
It makes no sense to me, dog.
No, it does. It really fucking does. It doesn't. But like my issue, one of my issues with Chris's was that he kept Julio Jones for $70, and had he known how the draft would have worked out, he would have rather kept that money.
Right. There's no universe where I would have ever done that. We talked about Julio earlier.
Yeah, I don't think I would have kept. Look, I thought I was taking a big risk last year when I kept Christian McCaffrey for $63. Right. He literally had to play like he played last year to make me feel good about that. Thankfully, I was paid off, but $63, like, that was a lot of money, and I would have had to pay $80 for him this year. I had to kick him back.
Right.
And Jared paid $75 for him, so he would have gone close for what I would have paid for him, which is crazy.
Yep.
It's insane.
So, I mean, me versus Archie this week, I'm just looking at this right now. Like we say, the projections don't matter. I wish they didn't exist on the thing. Actually, my shit's not even giving me a projection right now. What do I got to click for that? Whatever.
You just go to scoreboard.
It's on the scoreboard. I'm in like the fantasy cast, whatever. You can tell me what it is while I'm talking about it. But
your projected total is 100.1 for Archie and 99.5 to you. So it's pretty much a 50-50.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you look at it on the ESPN website, like the way I'm looking at it now, I'm seeing it with no projections, which is actually pretty nice.
Right. So when you go into the fantasy cast, for whatever reason right now.
Oh, yeah, the fantasy cast shows it.
Showing you the projection, but they're on the scoreboard. But yeah. So, I mean, when I'm looking at the matchup just down the line here, right, it's Rodgers, Stafford. I'm feeling all right about Rodgers, at least into game 2. He's not hurt yet.
Yeah.
And then the running backs come up. He's got Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack's down, I assume, for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So I assume Taylor's going to get some run there. We saw Naheem Hines. We talked about that a little bit earlier. We saw him get involved in the passing game, looking pretty spry out there.
Yep.
But you don't feel bad about that from his end. I would say he has me there. I got Nick Chubb. It's probably – I don't know what's going on with Miles Sanders. The Eagles tried to make it sound like he was almost ready to play last week. I was kind of surprised they scratched him at the end the way they were talking about it. So it makes it sound like maybe he could play this week. I don't know. If they didn't play him last week, I'm sure they're not going to put him out there at like half strength or some sort of situation like that where you got to worry about it. So if they're firing up Miles Sanders, I'm firing up Miles Sanders. And then I feel a lot better about my running back matchup. But Devin Singletary, too, I think he'll have a bounce-back game. I imagine. I don't even know who the Bills are playing. But
it's at Miami. So
right. So he's going to have a bounce-back game. Then we looked at our receivers. I actually didn't know Mike Thomas got hurt until I heard you say that earlier in the show. I'm learning right here on the cast, day 1.
He got hurt.
So I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm clicking the button.
He's going to be out for several weeks. So that's why Emmanuel Sanders, if you have Emmanuel Sanders, you can fire him up as a flex this week for sure.
Right. So I'm running out there with Amari and Keenan like we talked about. Archie's got AJ Green left, and I'd assume he's going to come with either Anthony Miller or Corey Davis, or it's something off the wire. I have to like my chances there.
Yeah.
He's got Greg Kittle. I know Kittle had a quiet opener. I assume he's going to get me with Kittle. I have Jack Doyle.
Well, Kittle's also dealing with a knee sprain, so we don't even know. He might not play.
May not play. And then the flex, he went with Ronald Jones last week. My flex, depending on if Sanders plays or not, is either going to be Singletary or maybe someone that may be on the wire or not right now. Maybe some John Brown, maybe some Robbie Anderson, something like that.
Yeah. Probably
a boom type player for me, especially if I'm going like Chubb Singletary or Chubb Sanders, right?
Yeah.
Need that high ceiling option in my lineup. And Legatron versus Jake Elliott, that seems like a push. So
yeah.
I like that once the numbers get reshuffled, right? He's going to move Thomas out, so he's going to get his projection bumped up a bit.
Yeah.
Imagine they don't have Miles Sanders projected for very much right now. Maybe, that's some points. Says he got 14 or whatever. So I feel like it would be close. I feel like there's a chance to get my first W here.
Yeah, they got Miles Jack. He's projected for 14 points.
Yeah. So maybe I'm already dead in the water in projections because I'm sure they got. Where they at? They
You're not dead in the water.
They got Mike Thomas at 0 already, so he doesn't have his lineup in there. So So
I actually like your team's shot this week. Aaron Rodgers playing Detroit. He's going to eat that secondary up. You got Chubb's playing on Thursday night. Running backs tend to play a little better on Thursday night. Against Cincinnati, it's going to be a lot easier to run. Keenan Allen's going to bounce back. Amari Cooper, I like your squad. If Miles Sanders plays, I like your squad. Without Michael Thomas, I don't really like his wide receivers.
Is this the curse of the Michael Thomas auto draft, though? We didn't even take it to that level.
And
I like Michael Thomas, but we
all might have got spared. We might all got spared.
Michael Thomas this year, so I'm really not mad about it, to be honest.
I got Michael Thomas in one league, and it's a weird league. It's like a touchdown only league. I probably won't play in it next year.
Yeah. But, if Archie was trying to bet me on this game, I would take the bet.
Oh, 100%. I would take the bet too.
Archie. $25. Heard it live. Taped. but live.
All right. Well, who do y'all think? Who do you think will have the best team at the end of the season? Who do you think has the worst team at the end of the season?
Before we go to that, and I know you appreciate you with the script, and I feel like we've been talking for fucking ever. Like,
We
and
have.
it's awesome. I like this. I feel like it's rolling nice. But we talk about how Jared, right, which we also were concerned about his mental wherewithal during the draft, somehow managed to get a victory with 81 points against Brian that somehow managed to not crack 80. And like, I feel like his squad, he's played Preston Williams, so that never makes you feel good on the inside. But like, Cortland Sutherland was a late scratch, right? So it wasn't on purpose. Like, I would have bet money on his team. I think actually, no, I'll take it back. I like both of their teams way better than Chris's team. Way better.
Oh, let me see their teams.
So I mean, like,
I would take Chris's team probably over Brian's team, but I like Jared's team for sure. I like Jared's team a lot.
Chris's team has no running backs, dog. I guess Phil Lindsay is hurt now, so he's kind of in a similar spot. But Chris's team's best running back is Jordan Howard.
Yeah.
Right. That was the longest pause of this last
But,
week.
I mean, he also has Malcolm Brown. He also has James Robinson. So those will probably be his running backs.
By accident.
He works the waiver wires pretty well. I give him that. I'll give him that. I
don't get it.
I don't understand. He's won it twice. He beat me in the finals, so I give him his props. I have to give him his props. He beat me in the finals, although
fucking Eli Manning of fantasy football.
I don't know. I think everybody did. I think everybody did pretty good with their teams with what they had. Otherwise, like outside of making the, I don't think $70 for Julio Jones was right. But
you're saying you want me to scan the list and tell you what the worst draft pick of the night was while you talk about something else?
Yes.
I'll do that.
Yes, please do. Please do. Yeah, I think that Tori's team to me is the team that's to me I would pick to run with, but actually no, I'd pick my team because I feel like my team is balanced. His team is very top heavy with the Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, but those three guys can win you. They can just win you weeks by themselves.
This team can also be just ravaged by injury. Like if one of those three guys gets hurt, his team becomes completely different very quickly. I'm not a fan of running N'Keal Harry or Alan Lazard or Curtis Samuel or Mike Williams. Like I'm not a fan of Kenny Golladay being my number one wide receiver. So I think he'll score a lot of points a lot of weeks, and I'm not looking forward to playing his team at full strength. I felt that way last year, and we made it happen. So it's early. It's week one. We're all like,
theoretically.
Yeah, it's early. It's week one.
Depending on how many games we play.
Right. Facts. That's true.
NFL not shutting that shit down. They'll just be like, what? People play different numbers of games? Whatever.
NFL's not.
Asterisk.
Yeah, they're not shutting it down. And if the season will finish. I don't see it shutting down. And the NBA is able to do it. The NFL is going to figure out a way to do it.
I mean, the traveling shit is bananas to me, but I also realize that the money is the most important thing going on right now.
Yeah, traveling's crazy. I don't get that. But
Canada was like, nah, dog, Blue Jays, you're going to have to go ahead and move out for the season if you want to do this baseball thing. We're not going to let you just be bringing Americans over the border every day. So what?
I get them. I get it. I fucking get it. Yeah, I think everybody did okay. Even like
I think I've seen the draft. I'm ready to make my verdict. Julio Jones by far the worst draft pick of the fucking draft for $70. Only person more expensive, Christian McCaffrey. The only other person that I'm even looking about that I feel less comfortable with, maybe than like my Le'Veon Bell for $37 is, I believe it was Benny with a toddler Gurley for 46.
Oof.
And I feel like I probably was also even going for it because there was no one left at that. I remember that very distinct moment where it was like once it got into the 40s, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, Todd Gurley for over $40 is tough. That's tough. That's getting up there with like for me. I saw what Josh Jacobs was kept at, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going more than Josh Jacobs for any of these second tier running backs.
Right, but he had to do it, or his team was gonna look like Chris's. So I mean, not like
but again, you gotta, Chris benefited from keeping Patrick Mahomes for $5.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna see here. Oh.
Other teams we don't love. I don't have to throw my LB under the bus. Benny's team's kind of also pretty sorry. Like,
let me see something.
They probably won. That probably means they won last week because it was fucking bizarre.
Galladay Inn beat my balls.
Oh yeah, Torres team would have won.
Then he drafted Josh Gordon for everybody so that he can be kept for $2 next year if he somehow comes back to life. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Benny's running backs are suspect. Kareem Hunt is not somebody you want.
Kareem Hunt is like clear number 2 running back.
Yeah, you don't want to be starting Kareem Hunt every week.
I liked Tevin Coleman for $4, but he would look like on the back of a milk box in that game, at least when I saw it. Maybe the box score is different, but I don't know.
No, I like that. I think
you're not mad at D-Hop, but that's like the only player on his team. Deontay Johnson got some targets. He looked like that's promising.
That's very promising.
We talked about nobody loving A.J. Brown.
Yeah, we talked about A.J. Brown.
It could have been worse. It could have been much worse than $26, I guess.
Yeah. You got A.J. Brown for 26?
Yeah.
Well, I just don't see it with A.J. Brown, and I know a lot of people did. I just don't.
We've gone
speaking of that, I want people to know that I think there's a runner-up.
Dak, though.
Yeah, somebody paid. JT actually, I think, paid $41 for Allen Robinson, who we shat on for like a lengthy segment earlier.
Absent. Yeah, those are definitely the worst picks. I can't see anything too much worse. I
did just see the bottom line here under the basketball game say the Saints are considering IR for Mike Thomas. So.
Oh my God! So yeah,
which, like we said, is not as real this year, but
yeah, still that's 3 weeks.
It sounds at least like a 3 to 4 week joint for him.
Yeah, well, guys, we dodged Michael Thomas because we all sat here and we would definitely have bid more for him, and we would have been sitting on a player we're not be using.
I mean, you get 3/4 of a season Michael Thomas for $46. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not where you want to be after you felt like you got that gift basket.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I think that $70 keep is the worst keep for sure. The worst bid. I don't know. I haven't. You say you're the worst. What you're?
That's overall the worst value for the entire year is Julio Jones at $70.
Yeah, absent. Okay, well, outside of the players that were kept. The players that we actually drafted, what do you think was the worst?
Like I said, I'd have to go back to however much Todd Gurley got paid for.
Yeah, 46.
Which is it's not impossible for that to pay off. I remember that time in the draft, he had to do it. He had the money, but would you rather spent that money elsewhere? I have to imagine yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm trying to look at the quarterback situation now too. I feel like $22 for Dak was also probably not.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
22 for a quarterback not named Patrick Mahomes is wild.
Or Lamar Jackson. Although Russell Wilson is slowly making his way into that category.
Yeah.
Looking like he's never going to not be elite.
Yeah, yeah. I might change my mind and say Dak for 22.
Yeah. Okay.
You got Deshaun for $9. Andy was black. We can come back to talking about the black quarterback upcharge in these types of leagues, and my other league scoring proposal that I want to institute next year. Maybe in our league, maybe not in our league, but
yeah.
Right. I guess Russ was kept.
Russ was kept. Kyler Murray was kept.
Tyler was kept. It's also, like if you didn't get a black quarterback, you got to wait for one to come. That's why you went with Tua, I assume, because he's not white.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't got a black quarterback, might have to wait 3 years before you get one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Dak Prescott, $22, worst pick of the year.
Yeah. Okay. I fucks with it.
Sorry, Benny. Love you,
Tory's strategy scares me. Like he spent 69 on Saquon early, then 6 picks later he spent 72 on Alvin Kamara. So at that time you're basically, close to out of money. Now he kept Aaron Jones for $3 and Galladay for $3, so that helps. But man, do y'all like not having so little money at that point in the draft?
I feel like I would have to want to aim for somewhere in the middle, but like that's how I wish I could fucking make my mind think about it. I would, if I could have done that and went and jumped for 2 of those top 5 running backs like that, then I would no way have paid $19 for Mark Andrews and then double-digit dollars for 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So like, it's not that the jump out the window strategy can't work. It was more like, I feel like he also looked distracted. I feel like he got lazy at the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't talking during the draft where he's probably was like super focused, but he was like scared to like hear the shit talk and like have to be responding back to it. So he like removed himself from the draft from like a talking standpoint so that he could do whatever he needed to do. Right.
Yeah.
But he could have done better. It's lucky for all of us that he spent $14 on Josh Allen.
Yeah, spent $25 on 2 quarterbacks. Yeah, that's actually kind of fortunate. Otherwise, might have been a juggernaut.
Right.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, to follow up, I can't have no money when I have 2 players on my board, or I guess 4 if you keep 2. But that's an entire roster still have to be filled out with $50,
Yeah. That shit is rough for me. It causes me anxiety. I've always been this try to balance approach, but I'm with you though, Grant. I think I like the jump out the window approach. If I can guarantee myself 3 first-round picks, probably would do it.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but there's a fun, I think, kind of pride aspect almost to the auction draft where it's I'm gonna get this player, right? And if you don't have any money to fight back on that, that's terrible.
It's so awful. You're sitting there like the machine's telling you what your max bid is, and you're already just past it.
The blood is straight out, son. You can't even get it.
Just so terrible. Nah, but overall, because we started off as a snake draft and then converted to auction and never looked back. So I'm glad that I feel like auction is just better.
It's definitely superior from a shit talking strategy standpoint.
Yeah.
Definitely encourage it if it's a group of your friends. Like work league, unless they're all fantasy heads, you can fuck with the snake draft. That's cool.
Yeah.
You got parents and shit, Not a lot of dads in the league. I feel like from all the dads in AA Kai, I feel like all of them stop playing fantasy football and try to be like, oh, Black Power, y'all don't play fantasy football anymore. Nah, nigga, you changing diapers, son.
Come play fantasy.
So you can't hit the waiver wires and you scared money. We all know the truth.
Well, y'all, this has been great.
But I wanted to say after we were having that shit, I was like, we should make it where if you got a black quarterback, they just start with 5 points every game.
That'd be lit. I'd be down for that. I 100% be down for that. Then black quarterbacks then you literally, honestly, you have to, I think you have to start taking black quarterbacks first round.
The ones that are actually good, definitely become top 2, top 3 rounds at worst.
Yeah, you can't.
The stipulation he has to play in the game, right? You can't have a backup black quarterback, not the same.
You just want 5 points at your quarterback position? Why not?
Yeah, it's like this person sitting
let somebody have that. That's the rule. I don't want you to have these free 5 points and only 5 points at quarterback. No, it's cool. Whatever. I'm saying it makes you think about it. Am I going to play Jalen Hurts? Probably not. Maybe on a bye week if you have to. Someone got hurt last minute. He's out there. He's playing the Monday night game. He's going to score points, at least 5.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah. Okay. I want to go board bet Chris's team right now. How many games was our regular season? It's 13, right?
13.
Fuck, man. You're right. He has some fucking juju on the league, but
yeah.
I mean, like winning record, I feel like that's like a bitch bet. That's not really taking a hot take, but like
Yeah.
Because he almost made the playoffs last year with a suspect squad. Like, it's just – I never can call it with Chris's teams. I never can call it. I don't know. I don't know how he just came into the Dafe League first year and won it. And then,
makes no sense. If his team makes the playoffs, like I feel like I've wasted a lot of my life trying to study fantasy.
Yeah, it shouldn't. But, man, Patrick Mahomes is really good. And Julio Jones is good. But
Those are
that's
both good
it.
football players, yeah.
But that's it, though.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah. What is,
I remember the way he got Patrick Mahomes in that draft is because of that situation where I ran out of money and could not bid on Patrick Mahomes because one of the only NFL analysts I actually listened to was Louis Riddick, and Louis Riddick could not stop talking about Patrick Mahomes that whole off season. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna get Patrick Mahomes. And he went for like $3, and I was like, I think I only had like 7 left. It was like 5 spots to fill or whatever.
Patrick slipped through the cracks. And I think the only reason I really got Lamar really for 3 was because that was the draft that you overslept, Lionel. I think Lionel would have at least bidded me up a couple more dollars on Lamar Jackson. But
$3.
$3. $3 motherfucking dollars for the MVP. That's how you do with the auction draft. Target those $3 players, and maybe they'll be the MVP for you too.
Looking at you, Nick Chubb, son. Holler at me.
All right, so how do you guys want to? One, thank y'all for doing this. This turned out.
I feel it was a great episode 1.
Yeah,
Start of a dynasty.
Dope as shit.